Today is March 4th, 2025. Um, Yesterday on the 3rd, well, it's about 1 o'clock in the morning. Um, a lot. I talked to my brother up in Fairlawn. I told you I went up to Bob Evans. And when I walked by, there were some young guys with black hair, dark eyes, Middle Eastern look, but they were young. Said the king told you to stay alone. You're not going to stay alone. No one's to care about you. Well, we all know why you want to stay alone. Let's see. They sell you for a sex slave to be murdered, organs, or you do your weird mail order break. Yep, nope. We all know what you do. Because if they isolate you, nobody knows you're gone. Well, they make comments like that. 18 and 19 get it where she talks to no one sees her, and they'll not know she's gone. Yeah, we all know what you do. And I told you about when I went to the bathroom over by the register, I look over and there are some teenage girls making snotty comments about watch videos on my phone. I told you I got this place bugged. And then it said something about the weddings. Well, I'm going to be getting married, so I was just watching weddings. It had nothing to do with anything, and definitely not to do with them. And then when I went to buy my brother a pie later, they were making comments as if Agent John was tricking them. He told everybody nobody was to care about her. She's weird with herself. They already confessed it was a photoshopped her washing herself in the shower. That's why nobody said anything. And nobody knew about it. It was done by a drug dealer, you fuckhead. Stupid morons. Your cartel. Well, that's when I met with my brother on Sunday. I didn't say anything on Wednesday. I was pissed as hell. They showed up to do that. My brother was saying how he seen a bunch of Texas plate up there. And I said, we were at the mall. You seen the guy with the long white beard down, way long. It was way below his waist. Long hair. And you could tell it was a disguise. That's the retired Judge Pete scam from Ravenna. They put on a Santa beard to go out and rape people. It's sick. That's why nobody knew about him, because they made him up. And the other ones for the Judge Peters from Florida, because we're drug traders, human traffickers from Florida. We work for Judge Peters. Michelle was Judge Peters' daughter. She could control the cartel. Now she's in charge of it. A whole cartel. She's a billionaire, honey. So you're scamming, stealing for a billionaire. It's stupid, huh? Okay. Well, I told him, I said, while I was waiting for you, I went through the mall. There was a bunch of Muslim women in jobs. Even investigators were around me. They said Muslim women are involved in this. It's not funny. We see them around her. Oh, they were mumbling stuff about the king when I walked by. It's not funny what they said about our king. Well, Officer Mark called him a fucking Iraqi terrorist. Truth hurts. Seriously. You sell and kill U.S. women and children, that makes you a terrorist. If you look up the king from Texas, he's a U.S. military Iraqi translator, went into the dark web. That no king. That's where the Iraqis show up. But we all work for the king from Texas. We are his men. Dave hired us. He's a drug lord. Oh, there's several people over this last year talked about the king up there. Okay, there's Florida plates in Texas where they were all over Ravenna Maslin, Canton, they're in Fairlawn. They've been up there. I've been telling everyone they're up there in Fairlawn. Okay? My brother now yesterday when I seen those people in Bob Evans, that was on what, the 2nd, because today's the 4th. Yesterday on the 3rd, I talked to him. His ex-wife came from the Philippines, okay? She moved here probably over 30 years ago. She got her citizenship. She's a legal U.S. citizen now, okay? She's seen people saying they were from ICE, demanding people's IDs. ICE don't do that. It's cartel. Getting people's addresses. By the way, U.S. Marshals, Sheriffs, FBI, you need to get yourselves up there. They're not ICE agents. ICE agents are a little bit like the FBI. Most of the time you don't know they're involved until they arrest you. Unless they want you to know they're there. They're not like the U.S. Marshals that are badass. They're like Chuck Norris, the Walker, Texas Ranger. They're loud, proud, and in charge. Are the U.S. Marshals. And they'll tell them, we're taking care of this. We're here. They want them to have some fear. They're badass. Okay? ICE agents are sort of they go to arrest you, you don't know they're there. And they definitely wouldn't stop people for IDs. They'd pull your plates. They know who you are. That's drug cartel. I told him, I said, you tell them if they see me, can call the police. He said it scared her real bad. That silly girl. She cannot be deported. She's a U.S. citizen. She got her citizenship years ago. He said she was freaking out. What if she couldn't find the papers? I said it's attached to her social. And I said, and those weren't ICE agents. That was cartel. They don't go around demanding people's ID. Really? People have fake IDs. Seriously? But yeah, I was definitely at several different places last year in Fairlawn, including some at mall. Muslim women, also the people that work for Michelle, the young girls were up there saying stuff in the food court. The retired Judge Pete imposter weirdos that put Santa beards on to rape people. What a sick scenario. Huh? Sick. That's why the sheriffs didn't know who he was, or there was no place, or an attorney I talked to. Never heard of him. Well, Michelle's group were drug traders, human traffickers from Florida. We work for Judge Peters. And Michelle, how she could control those cartels, having anybody drug being raped. She just had to ask the guys, and she was Judge Peters' daughter. Where were they from? Florida. Told you they'd seen him here in Louisville. Henry Maffey was with him. Lori, my one ex-co-worker, her family was taken. They left how they slaughtered her. Made fun of her. They're sick bastards. She didn't realize she was drinking in a bar with her family's killers. When she told me her friend got shot in Canton, as bad as when they took her family member and they would have people show up in stores, how they tied her up and cut her up in pieces and how she died. Like it's funny they raped her. Looked at her, I said, people are sick. She showed me a picture of her. She was beautiful. Young, thin, blonde. Mm. Sat down, took a deep breath. I said, you know about the guy in the white van? How'd you know about the white van that took my family member? I took a deep breath. I said, she lives here in Louisville. I said, did you see the big truck guys that were here a couple years ago all over Louisville? Yeah, they were in the bars. I said, they said they were from Florida. Yes, they did. They said they were drug traders. Yes, they did. Did you know about Henry Moffey? Sounds about right. He was with him. Show her the picture from Facebook. That's not him, but he is with him. Found out there was a big reward to find her family member's killer. Tried to tell that agent. That's why there's bedrooms. Hmm? I didn't have the heart. She kept drilling me. How did I know about the white van that took her family member? I didn't have the heart to tell her. And I didn't want to tell her she was drinking with her family's killers. Because that's where I went to work at my other job. My pretty district manager, Kara, was out there. And she's like, I hate those human traffickers. I'm running her mouth, okay? And Melissa, my house manager, she said, well, you know about the guy in the white van. The tall white guy with black hair. I started stuttering. That's my kidnapper. Started crying. And she's like, they took my niece on Christmas of 18. The authorities said that they were drug traders and that were human trafficking people out of this area. They're working with the big truck guys and other people to trick people to go to stores and then grab them. You know all about them. Yeah. So, Agent John, you know, we're going to put it this way. Where you told the police, and the police came up to me in 18 as part of the case, that you knew everything was drugged and photoshopped. You could not believe these people tried to pull such a scam with you and tried to defraud you. You were so mean to me on the phone to make sure I wasn't part of the people trying to defraud you. And you were going to go after them. You knew everything was drugged and photoshopped. Okay. That's why the Hartville police were telling people that you had told them that last year. I remember in 18. Cops coming up and saying that. And then you had even told them you thought the only way into the cartel was sacrificing me. Sacrificing your informant and hiding behind a rape victim was cowardly. But we're going to have a long talk. Now, I know you did not fall for the Vegas scam. They look like morons. Idiots. Seriously. I have told you how I got sick, and then with all the surgeries, and then went to a bunch of doctors, and they falsely diagnosed me, gave me a bunch of meds, made my whole body swell up. Had to have my knees drained every month, and they gave me canes and braces, and because my knees would pop out of place. I gained I always say 150 is way over that because I went from 105 pounds to like 270 in 2 years. So I got like 3 arms. Many heart attacks, seizures. Lied I had brain tumors. Level 2 brain tumors out. Need to remove part of my brain. Thyroid, adrenal gland shut down, and then before I let them take part of my brain out, I go to my regular doctor. They told me how they're known for lying, falsely diagnosing people, ripping them off, making them sick, and doing unnecessary procedures, and getting kickbacks from drug companies to get an attorney and sue them. Okay? And it was a medication making me sick. It's documented fraud, medical malpractice, and medication errors. All my family physicians and Dr. Eli, he put me on fentanyl patches, muscle relaxers. In over 9 months, I slowly got well. Started around November 2002. By April, I'm almost well. Because the only thing that was wrong with me was my muscles locked up. Everything was induced by the wrong meds. They have side effects, and especially when you don't need them. And by April, I'm almost 12, 2003. And May 3rd, 2003, we're all at home. Brian Laney shows up and tells us how there was a church baseball game, and Phil was one of the lead cards. And he didn't even try to stop for a stop sign. Blew right through it into a semi and killed him and Tyler both. I finished getting well in July. November of 2003, my sister's married to Strange's son, Tim. She was out following him within like a year before that. She was out, one day caught him with Katie, and she started following him. Well, come November of 2003, she was out before church following him. She came up to me and said, I saw him again. I got caught. I think they thought it was you. I'm sorry. Be careful. Sunday, Strange retaliated. Took Danny, pushed him to suicide. Told everybody I was faking over the last 4 or 5 years. Had to get rid of me real quick. Thought I caught his son in adultery. He'd been up there beating that pulpit, saying these ministers letting their kids commit adultery. You can't have a minister come out of that church for that house of that family for 2 or 3 generations for the sin to be removed. Here his son is cheating on his daughter-in-law, and his grandson is already assistant pastor. He got rid of me real quick. Okay. I found out September 18th, 24, 8:30 in the morning, up in Akron. The next door neighbor to my client, an investigator, was up there. That agent needs to get his facts straight before he puts his name on anything. It was a medication error that made her sick before. Medical malpractice, fraud. Okay? They were just ripping me off. Okay? Almost killed me. If I would have sued them, I would have been a millionaire. They encouraged Dave and I to sue them for 2 or 3 years that they would back us because they almost killed me. They documented it repeatedly. See, him being a federal agent, you know that, right? Yeah. You'd also know about the insurance fraud of some other lady using my insurance for 15 years too, right? Yeah. Okay. So when Strange made that up in November 2003, it had nothing to do with what happened to Vegas 6 months earlier, right? Weren't even connected. Mine a little bit. It's a half a year later. He made up a shitty lie on me. Takes a moron. It took me 9 months of pulling myself up and down streets, malls, stores. Practice walking, lying on my ass and face. It's humiliating. okay? Didn't have anything to do with their father running a stop sign, right? Like I said, where that investigator said that agent needs to get his facts straight before he puts his name on anything, was a medication error that made her sick before. Why'd they wait 15 years? Well, I went over and talked to him. They said Wayne Strange thought she was following Tim and Katie. He ordered her to be killed in '03. They were to try to have her killed, and if it didn't work, they were to have her destroyed. Nobody was to say or do a thing until Dave said he wanted a divorce, and it took him 15 years. That's why they waited. Now, see, that's where the fucked up Vegas, we're not even connected. Not even a little bit. So, them coming in your office where you said on the recorder line, you met with that family in your office that lost their kid in the traffic accident. Wasn't part of the accident. Weren't even there. And all those church people, I know they're trying to kill you, and they say strangest lie. You knew it was a medication error. You were playing them right. You're not stupid, right? You did your research, right? They didn't fool you. Because see, even the scenario that they wanted me killed and them hiring people to kill me, like my neighbor Becky, it's insanity. They're not even connected. You had nothing to do with that kid's death, and somebody makes up a mean lie on you. It's not even connected to them. Why would they care? Exactly. They thought you were that stupid. They do. Could you imagine them coming in and act like damn fools? And I mean damn fools. It offended us. He called her a faker 15 years ago. How could you even keep a straight face? You should have bitch slapped him. Then nailed him to your desk. You better pray she's alive. You should have bitch slapped him. Are you allowed to kill anybody? Besides self-defense or defending another life? No. What happens? You go to jail. So why would they be allowed to kill me? Because Strange, called me a baby's baby bird. And it was a flat-out lie. Why on earth would they be allowed to kill me? Maybe because they hired the Florida human traffickers, the Kingsman from Texas, and there was drug lords involved. See, I met a retired CIA agent, and for somebody who's retired still talks to him. She told me I hate FBI agents. You know, I talked to a sheriff. They said the same thing. They said, don't let locals get away with crimes. And go after the big drug dealers. They don't want the big drug dealers. They don't care about the locals. See, where a sheriff told me he had to go pick up an informant once. Got drunk in a bar, started beating on things. Well, informants live through hell. We're the little whipping boys they send in to get them information and live through hell. So this informant got drunk, started breaking up the place, tore up his hand. He said an FBI agent called him up and said, you better not let anything happen to my informant. Said he's stone drunk. We tied him He's trying to beat on everybody, so he strapped him to a papoose where I told you not to let anything happen to my informant. He said, I told you, we're taking him to the hospital. He said, I hung up on him. He ain't gonna yell at me like that. They're all police officers. They can arrest each other. But the retired CIA agent, when I was talking to her about the Texas group, she told me, she said, I know about the Texas group. She said, did you know they've killed both CIA agents and FBI? So why did that agent not care on being drug, being raped by a cult that hired a cartel? Because they've already killed federal police officers. So who did he want? Who did he want? Do you think he actually felt sorry for some moron saying they're having somebody killed because somebody called him a faker? 15 years before, you're waiting 15 years to hunt her down? You sound like morons. It couldn't offend you. It didn't even affect what happened to you. Somebody calling her a bad word. You should have talked to them like they were grown. You should have bitch slapped them, handcuffed them, and talked to them like they were grown. You didn't fall for the crocodile fake tears that they thought they were fooling you, right? I don't think so. See, deep down, I think you're a better poker player. And I think you're calling the cons. See, I hate when people show up. I'm Karen's Will. I'm Karen's Will. Karen's Will is FBI agent John. He is a mean, grumpy FBI agent that don't like people trying to scam him and think he's stupid. And he'll get you at any cost. That's who my Will is. And my guardian angels are Officer Mark and Officer John. And they'll get in your face and tell you off. Because you knew it was medical malpractice. Medication errors. Well, you can't say all that stuff's wrong with somebody and they're fine without being fraud. Like Altman Family Physicians, they were defrauding you, ripping off your insurance. Draining it like a checking account. It's immoral and unethical what they did to you. Oh yeah, and they encouraged us to sue it. So that agent would know that. See? Then he would know about the insurance fraud. We're talking about the federal government. Do you know I'm a notary, people? Guess what I have to pass to be a notary? An FBI background check. And if you're actually found and saying you can't be a notary, you can't sign, there's no competency here, and you're just making this shit up. You think they're stupid, they're not. So when they were in there saying that we tried to kill her because Strange called her a faker, you sounded like the most schizophrenic, insane people. Harming somebody because somebody called them a faker. I know this one person, her husband spent 21 years in jail. As a young man, he came home. His sister was laying on the floor naked. Some idiot had took a knife and cut up her private area and stabbed her. She's bleeding out on the floor. A dying breath told her who did it. A fit of rage and horror. He knew her. Ran out, found him, started beating him. Didn't stop till he's dead. He killed his sister's killer. He spent 21 years in jail. To me, that's a mental snap. 5 years. Medication counseling. It's heartbreaking. But he can't take the law in his own hands. It's like those grieving parents that lose their children and their killers are in that courtroom. And they go in a courtroom and kill them themselves. Then they go to jail in their fit of horror and rage. They do something horrible they'd never do because someone took their baby. And everybody understands the horror and grief. But these people, diabolical, evil, and making out the most pathetic excuse of somebody just calling somebody a mean word. To have somebody drug, beat, raped, and murdered. They look like morons. Insane. See, I almost wondered what triggered a mental snap for them to even be involved. Here it was diabolical and planned since '03. Okay. They didn't fool you at all, did they? So where you went up and where they were laughing at Alliance in the last 2 weeks, I was at that little fruit market at the edge of town. Investigators came in. And here's what's going on. That agent went around telling everybody she called the FBI hotline before he spoke to her. Told him he didn't care what happened to her. And they thought he laughed. And he got him under police surveillance, confessing to all these crimes. He tricked him. I know he did. Where those idiot people will destroy you to the point they can never use your testimony. And they didn't want my testimony. He tricked you. They wanted it under police surveillance with a court order. So he listed me an informant with money and immunity for threat of life, attempt of life for an FBI informant. It's a court order from a judge, like they sent away that agent over that case. The sheriffs have been taping this. It can't be disputed. See, they wanted you to willingly confess under police surveillance, and then they had you. They just had to sacrifice me. I like my money, Agent John. We all know you're a tattletale. You confessed on a recorded line, and they sold the recorded line. Because the only reason why the police and the FBI and the Department of Justice went and put your butt in jail for telling on a victim calling for help is you were scamming people to get the drug dealers. You can't be that dirty and stay in authority and publicly do it without somebody arresting your dumb ass. It wasn't. You were scamming the drug dealers because why? Heads of drug cartels were connected to these people. Michelle was Judge Peter's daughter from Florida. There were drug traders and human traffickers from Florida. They worked for Judge Peter. Michelle, I can have anybody drug being raped. I just have to ask those guys. I'm Judge Peter's daughter. And all those other cartels, like the 2 agents that are around Joshy's age that works in the Belvin office, they sort of remind you of my kids. They've been around me since 18. I know you thought they were cops at about tossing them in the office. They were in Walmart when the case first started. Look at all the people they hired to hurt her. We could use her as bait. I am not bait. I'm a human being. You know the place I've announced in Walmart 62. You need to be proud of yourself. Because of what you lived through, we help get all this information on these people. You help save a lot of lives because of what you lived through. Okay? They told people Karen's amazing. She has no training and got us all this information on those people. She's amazing. She has no training and got us all this information. Where my friend Walter used to work at the Stark County Prosecutor's Office. Karen, you don't realize. You have a lot of great favor with a lot of officers because of that FBI case and what you lived through. They think very highly of you. I have had officers scream at them. She deserves a hell of a lot more respect than what these people give her. I almost died to save my family. They even yelled them that. They told people Karen is a victim of an occult that drugged her and tried to kill her before. My friend seen Michelle in the drug cartel at Faith Family Church. Okay? He went down to the U.S. Marshals to tell him what he seen. Met one of the men they saved off of the case. Because of me, he's alive. Most people get written accommodations for it. That would be nice. Something to show my children. I like my money. For Dave and get you information on Dave and the church is my ass. I didn't know nothing about no drug cartels. Thought the well water was killing me. They had me so stoned up there I didn't know what was going on. Like they said, when the case first started, we found out Karen's ex-husband had her so drugged up there. They were drug beating, raping her, and she wasn't realizing what was happening. Neither did the doctor. I'm blaming the dirty well water. I'm thinking it's giving me cancer. When the doctor told him that I got all these bruises, I don't know where they came from. Did you fall? No. Maybe you're coming anemic. My muscles are killing me. Do you know how bad it had hurt to realize why my muscles were cramping so bad? Where on those bruises they were beating me. Under drugs I wouldn't remember. Cowards. Throwing up, dizzy, almost passing out, and a severe personal infection till I couldn't hardly pee in it. You'd almost scream. When you just had to pee. My whole personal area is like turned inside out. It's so swollen. Going to the doctor. They gave me pills and cream stuff for headaches, throwing up, iron pills, muscle relaxers, all the signs of being drugged, being raped. And nobody thought of a rapist. And I'm blaming the dirty well water I'm showering. Thinking it gave me cancer. Never seen her talk to anybody. You want to talk about scary movie shit? Sexual predators bringing on people in their homes. It's a drug cartel, and it's documented it was a drug cartel. Dave hired the cartel. Now, Agent John usually don't tell on victims calling the hotline for help, right? You usually don't tell the villains you don't care they're drug beating, raping, and trying to kill somebody, right? You don't aid and abet in those crimes. You were tricking them to get the drug dealers to confess under police surveillance, right? Because we all know you told on me, and then you don't have authority to stay quiet. And then why would you stay quiet? You already told everyone. That's stupid. You acted as lonely as they did. I like my money. I'm tired of playing with the fools, are you? You know, that's where people in Carrollton last week, they were trying to pull, I told you it's like a hurricane of scenarios and scams. We have the fucked up Vegas trying to help their church get away with murder. in their scam, they wanted Michelle to get everything. Michelle's the leader of the drug cartel of Florida now, the ones that didn't get arrested. She's a billionaire. She's a cartel's kid. Now she's a cartel leader. Cartels make $12 to $40 billion a year. She probably spends more on her purses. She has hundreds of people that work for her. It'd be like trying to steal for a famous singer. They don't need it. Then they had, like last week in Carrollton, where on Thanksgiving the 18th, John's kids got caught stating they wanted the house rent to Sean and Papa. Then later on to Flora, my other granddaughter, they made everything up. They were games of pretend. John defended me that Mel would just have him make up something because of the divorce. Because he told him I was going to be moving out, going through a divorce, but nobody could say anything bad about you, Mom. Don't worry about it. Okay? Should have her church people make up something too, and then the same thing that no one could say anything bad about you, so don't worry about it. It's just going to be made up because of the divorce and you're moving out, and nobody can say anything bad about you, so don't worry about any issues with me. Okay? Then the police show up at Walmart within a couple of days. Wyatt went to Dave too. I've never hurt anybody. He's like, Karen, you go to the kids, you go to the grandkids, you've never hurt anyone. You go to everyone no matter who it is. Okay? Dave done. Alright, and about Melissa's lies. Okay? And because I was supposed to move out and go through a divorce. Okay? Well, the police show up at Walmart 62 by those kids making that shit up. While they're just trying to scare her out of the house. That's it. We interviewed her whole family. They spoke highly of her. Okay? Same ones at June 23rd, July 4th of 21. What are these people talking about? We interviewed her whole family a long time ago. She never hurt anyone. The girls admitting they have drug dealers had to drug me to make me say that stuff. Nobody mentions those tapes. Then in March of 23 in Walmart 62, we told these people to stay out of this. We interviewed her family a long time ago. She never hurt anyone. Nobody's ever seen anything. And it's just some lady thought she could make some money out of it. Okay? And then how the sheriffs made fun of some guy named Kurt for falling for all this and called him slow. In May of 21. He tells everybody to stay out of it because the Stark County sheriffs called him slow. Well, they stated they were lying in Thanksgiving 2018, and it's May of 21. You just found out they were lying. They sold a log in the case. Huh? And you're just saying you found out? They called you slow. Well, they tried to pull the scam in Carrollton of Melissa's kids. Well, they had the police look it up. They were taped saying they made everything up. People were calling for her to be arrested for obstruction to justice. They were talking about having arrested in 18. Melissa could go to jail for this. Well, maybe we should just write it up. She was showing off with a new girlfriend. Her and the kids, so we don't have to arrest her. Yeah. Okay, there's that chaos. Then I can go over October 5th, 21. Them talking about her lying. 21, it was like a hotbed of them lying. People finding out they were lying. Oh my Lord. My one client's like, who's that crazy Melissa? They all talk about lying. Everywhere we go. As the police put it, they're documented me games of pretend. Okay? So there's that scam. Alright, then we got the drugs and told to say it. The Photoshop of washing yourself in the shower in the other room as a drug scam. Already confessed to that one too. Made everything up on me. Framed me. It was a cartel running a big scam on me. Then Eric won the drug dealers November 18th, 22. How he laughed at everybody for falling for his stun at taser. Jackass. I hope he's in jail. For all the tapes they for me and not her. It was my idea to come up with it, my idea to do it, my idea to say it. For all these people turning on, I fell for it. It was only you I could take care of it. No, it's that bad, they still fell for it. You put the jackass in jail, right? Or Lighthouse Tabernacle, Katie's sister Jody in the cartel. June 7th, 23, FBI agent John fell for the stun at taser for. Oh, come on now, that FBI agent fell for that. You're kidding. It was only a stunt. Me and John actually fell for it. You mean that FBI agent John actually fell for the stun at taser for it? That were only a stunt? You're kidding. Is that what's going on? This name, title, cackle. They sell videos of it to even children. We seen a video of them making fun of Will. Now, in July 9th, 23, Trinity Gospel, they were daring, the cartel was daring the FBI. FBI wouldn't dare fix it after what one of their agents did. I thought there would be SWAT teams. Hailstones from heaven. The wrath of the federal government upon them. Do you know what happened a lot in 23? A lot of cartel went to jail. 22 too. There was bigger fish in the sea than the local river. But it's a chaos of foolishness. One scam to another scam to another scam. And these people went in. Now I want you to think about this. They told a federal agent they had sodium pentothal reports. True, sir. They were drugging me to get the truth out of me. If you look up sodium pentothal, it's a lethal outlaw drug. Been outlawed in the country for years. They were using an outlaw drug in here. To a federal cop. Research your lies. And if you look up sodium pentothal, it was an anesthesia that shut down your airway. Became too dangerous. Outlawed it. Then they were even using it in lethal injections in prisons, and they considered it too evil because before, they knock you out to shut down your airways, you suffocate. So basically, and if you look it up, you'll see yes to anything, confess to anything. So what they're saying is they basically anthraxed me to make me lie. To a federal cop, and they were bringing a dangerous drug that shuts down your airway in to the U.S., using it on a U.S. citizen. Why didn't he arrest you? Want your drug supplier? Bringing a lethal outlaw drug into the U.S.? Michelle Judge Peters' daughter walked in? Huh? Why didn't you go to jail? He's a better poker player than you. Like that CIA agent. She said she hated FBI agents because they let the locals get away with horrible crimes and go after the big drug dealers out of power. She'd go after the big drug dealers, and they wouldn't want to take them out of power. Why? Save more lives. Hundreds were saved. Thousands of drug dealers. There's where I go into Akron. We all know Karen's Well is still open. It's part of the nationwide human trafficking scam. If you Google nationwide human trafficking FBI case, pages. We were a big piece of a mega case. So FBI agent John wouldn't be obstructing justice in a mega case, right? You were on the front football fighters, right? You are tricking a lot of the cartels to confess under police surveillance so they go to jail, right? Where that CIA agent said that the FBI lets the locals get away with crimes, go after the big drug dealers to get them. You want them? She knew about the Texas group, and then they've killed both FBI and CIA. So they killed federal agents, and it's personal. And that guy was military. Because you normally wouldn't let them hack into a federal investigation and sell it and not care. Just for a thing. Did you find who hacked it? M13's hacking protected live cases is on Google and selling them. So they get harassed in protected custody. Reverse track them. Well, you gotta think, they got Judge Peters out of Florida, 100 human traffickers. They got a drug cartel from California that was here, bragging what drugs they were bringing. Where Buffalo, New York was here, they got a big human trafficking group out of there. They got Michigan, several drug cartels, including people that were running cyber stalking scams on people like this. They found an idiot in Tennessee had 3 kids. Or Tennessee and Kentucky was there. North Carolina, South Carolina. If you look at like their major arrests, the drug dealers, they got all the states, a lot of them were here. Laughing in my face how they get away with crimes. I like my money, new name, social, place not above. The cartel has even admitted up in Fairland they watched me play on my phone and everything. They have announced in Walmart 62. In other places, my boyfriend doesn't realize what they've been doing. I don't want to freak him out. Officer Mark and John, I need you to go to John. I am tired. I like my money. If he wants to play with the damn fools, play with him. I like my money. And we all know he can't withhold it. We know he can't misdirect it. He can't say, you can't say anything. And I told everybody, That's just stupid and childish. He's acting like the crazy call people. Because he's already told everybody the FBI was involved, then they sold the log in the first month. And he told them before he talked to me and confessed on the recorded line. Before I met with that family in my office and all those church people I know, they're trying to kill you. And he says, strangers lie. Conspiracy to commit murder is 20 years. And then act like he's going along with it. And then makes fun of me for a rapist named Pete. How he's running a scam on me. Found out he's a drug dealer and a serial rapist. I didn't even know who the hell he was talking about. He sounded like a crazy ass fool. He's trying to act like a crazy call person. And you fooled him. Because I'd hate to think that you're actually that dirty and nobody's arrested you. I like my money. We all know you confessed. Police in uniform all know you told on me. They sold the log and everybody knows you told. Then what would there be to stay quiet for? And then they sold the log in. The first month and it went nationwide. It's probably worldwide at this point. I go in different places. People mention the case, talk about it. I was a school discussion in North Canton 2 years ago. Talked about the case with our teacher. Little children as little as 5. People in nursing homes, truck drivers. Dear God, even the Amish that don't use technology said something about the case. No man should ever say a word to her after what those apostolics did. Even the Amish know. They were talking about the case in Pennsylvania, Kentucky, Illinois, and 21. Think about it. I like my money. Because right now, people are like, nobody will trust the FBI after what happened here. You look like the worst white-collar criminals there is, and the most dangerous ones. Turning people back over to drug cartels, telling on victims call for help. It was an act to get them, right? You know, where like a police break me up after everything I lived there. I have a dent in the back of my head from 12/21/18, stabbed in the neck that hurts like you would not believe. Bashed in the back of the head, have a size of a ball peen camera. I was being raped and left for dead. Was out for 6 hours. Should be around that day. Almost shot in the head driving around that time in a slam tuck and swerve. At a high Christmas Eve of 2018, should be that day or the day before, on a shooting night, not to get killed. Dave caught with the shooters that they killed 2 people. I faced 6 stalkers, people breaking in, more bruises on me, laughing how they drugged me and framed me, photoshopped all their lives, where they were doing it before, in front of the cops, laughing how they framed me before, raced some guy named Chris Otherman. I don't know who he is, but they talked about him a lot. They said on April 28th, 24, in North Canton evening, they're out there talking about that he was one of the main people hurting me. You need to get him. He's drug beating, raping people in their homes, running cyber stalking and racketeering schemes on them. These people, I mean, then even their scam, they entered their stalking tapes done by the cartel in court, found me guilty, and they told people I had charges. I've never been prosecuted for anything in my life. Then they said they were going to enter them in court and take my informant money. They're not enterable in court. They're stalking tapes. It's the 4th Amendment. Police and agencies can only be in a home under threat of life with statements. Even the FBI can't be in your home. Talk to the police, prosecutor's office, and criminal attorney. It is the 4th Amendment. Dave can't hire the cartel on his own. They're not admissible. Okay? And they're not the ones that would enter it. The police would have to enter it, and then the prosecutor's office would have to pull you in front of a judge, and they would have to be admissible. I'd have to have an attorney. That's where you get charges. Then you'd have to have a trial date with a jury, and a judge. Make sure everything is legal. And then they decide if you're innocent or guilty. Then you get the real charges, get sentenced. And then the same thing would have to pretty much happen for them to sue you for money. Until then, nothing's entered in court. They lied. And then you gotta think. Informant money is for working a case. Okay? Get them information. They don't care how you get them information. As long as you don't threaten or harm somebody. Get somebody confess under police surveillance, that's all they want. You're not trying to harm them, threaten them, they're willingly confessing, that's all they want. That's all they want. So it stands up in court against them. Then government money that's meant for informants. Informants are an immunity that can't be prosecuted. It's protected money for people that can't be prosecuted. So where would I get charges? How could you attach something that the person's in immunity and it's for working a case. It's protected money. You can't touch it. You can't touch that person either. See what I mean? Think about what they're saying. It doesn't make sense. Because it's a lie. See, they want you to think they can do this to you. That there's no law, there's no order, just chaos. That they can break in and run scams on people in their homes. They can't. Like the teenagers out in North Canton, the police told us if anybody ever says that they're in your home, let us know and we'll take care of them. Cyber stalking is a felony invasion of privacy. It's like 20 years. Without racketeering of drugs, rape, threats, transit, extortion. It's a fraud scheme. Like my friend from the prosecutor's office. Big fraud scheme, photoshopping of washing yourself in the shower in the other room, done in stocking tapes. Drug, where you had all the signs of being drugged, being raped. You never seen her talk to anybody. They probably were drugging you up and telling you to say something stupid. And you never seen anybody. How would you like to take a drink out of a Diet Coke in the room, go dizzy and black, and hours later come out of it so dizzy you can't hardly stand up, you're throwing up, marks on you, you're affected, you don't know what happened to you. Wake up with injection marks, the same thing, and you're playing in the dirty well water you're washing in, and no memory, never seen or talked to anybody. You know what's scary? Is when people showed up and said, no, this is funny. She said she never seen her talk to anybody. There's videos of people around her. If you have videos of people around me given to the police, they didn't come in and talk to they drugged me, and you have videos of the people that hurt me. If this was happening to your wife, your mother, your daughter, your aunt, your grandmother, you'd be telling the police you better be getting those bastards. Thinking that they can rape somebody in their own home, tape them naked, Photoshop something like that, drug them up and tell them to say something stupid and have them human trafficked out of their house, let alone sell kitty porn to my grandkids going potty. They're human traffickers. They sell people. They're running scams on people in their homes. They're trying to say they have the right to do this. No, they don't. My one boss, his sister is a sitting judge in Ohio, said they can tell people they were in your home before, but the day they prove it, law enforcement is to arrest them. It's a federal crime. You want to play? Oh, and I can sue you for personal injuries. Give me a name. Oh, my kids will sue you for exploiting them and their children, taping them using the bathroom. Give us names. Full, first and last. Oh, and then there's a scam of a dirty doctor selling people's information. And they work for the cult. Oh, investigators were already afraid of that. They were afraid that the cult had to wear all that medical malpractice that they had did it. They have said they did. Or they were defrauding me, that they wrote more fraud. Well, insanity is not curable. Now I know I had that other lady use my insurance, committed insurance fraud. I told you I figured it was one of these side girlfriends. Half my medical records for 15 years were hers. Now we're going to talk. That's who I thought it was. But there's flat out saying that those doctors were in the cult's pocket, working for the cult, not me. They had them write up crazy crap. Insanity is not curable. It's like mental incompetency, or where you're born just, developed disability. You have to have a competency hearing. You have to have a guardian, social worker, Social Security disability. You can't just pay somebody to write up fraud. That person's fine. It's automatic fraud. Automatic fraud. That doctor can go to jail 1 to 5 years, $250,000 fine. You sue him for $1.5 million. First and last name. I want to be a millionaire. Idle words and idle threats. I have been raped. I have been tortured July to September 19. I have a dent the size of a ball peen hammer in the back of my head. I've been human trafficked, drugged till I lost 70 pounds, almost shot in the head driving. They 6 stalkers. Had to hide on a shooting night not to get killed. Idle threats do not scare me. And moronic idle threats really don't scare me. They announced over a week ago they could never use it. They looked it up. Well, of course not. It's fraud. You can't pay somebody dirty to write up lies. The person could go to jail. You can sue them. And then to say they were in it with a cult. They wouldn't even know what doctors I went to 20-something years ago. Dear God, I don't even remember those creeps. I mean, seriously. My kids used to laugh. Just because you got your MD license, don't mean you got A's. These people must have passed with these. They thought it was incompetency. Just negligence. No, they're saying it was actually attempted murder back then. And that they were in the cult's pocket the whole time. They wouldn't even know who I went to. It was 20-something years ago. That's where this whole thing is ridiculous. And then to write up something that's not curable and you can never get well, you have to have a competency hearing. It takes a judge. Because you have to have your guardian, your social worker, disability. They have to explain it to you. You have a right to an attorney, your own doctor's opinion. You can't just commit fraud. Say something's wrong with somebody and there's nothing wrong with them. That's fraud out fraud. Nice try. Like they said, they could never do any of that. And that person's going to be in a lot of trouble. Like a lady investigator, they'll all go to jail for that one. But hard telling who that lady, I argued with hospitals, doctors' offices, about this lady using my insurance, got stuck with probably close to $50,000 to $100,000 of copays over the years. She went Harry-Carry. Didn't know about it till I get the bills. Got it. Supposed to be a heavy-set white round woman with 2 girls. Found that out from the hospital. Arguing with them. About a stay I never didn't stay in and didn't know about some doctor's name and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And they're describing her. Or they were saying, well, you said you had 2 little girls. It's like I have 3 boys. Now, my brother said that at the factory there was rumors of him cheating and a heavy-set white round woman was showing up. And he denied it, said they were trying to break us up, but then this lady's using my insurance and even my prescription card, and it was about being 18 and stupid. Yeah. Oh, they're just trying to break us up. No, him and her were scamming me. My marriage was probably a whole scam, so he could support her. She was probably there before my marriage. And marrying me got him a job that paid a lot of money back then. Because my dad was VP of Midwest Rubber. So, Raylan made $80 a week. Married me, started making $500 to $1,000 or more a week. That's equivalent to $155,000 a year job. No. He just had to marry me. He has been a psychotic manipulator the whole time. Now, think about that. Some doctor within a call, falsely diagnosing, writing out fraud. how evil and wicked. If you could actually do that, you could destroy Trump, Elon Musk, anybody. Just go pay off a dirty doctor right up front. It don't work that way. It's not curable. It takes a judge, competency hearing. Then you're not competent because you're insane and it's not curable. You can't even sign your own stuff. Your guardian has to sign above you. I couldn't have signed my divorce papers, couldn't have sold Lennox, couldn't be a notary. Huh? Couldn't get a credit card? Couldn't have a checking account? Your guardian has to sign for everything or your payee. Because you're not competent, because you're insane and it's not curable. Your brain's damaged. So you need to research your lies. You just can't make up shit on people. Like they said over a week ago, they never could do any of that. Some lady in Golden Crown Belvin yesterday walked up. We found out there's some of those idiots in here. Well, there's people from an apostolic religion in there. And we all know they couldn't do any of this. Well, I go and I sit down and I'm talking to my boyfriend. We know the one waiter. He's older African American guy. I gave some money to my boyfriend, then he added more and gave him a tip. Well, he's a sweetheart and gave me a hug. And then we started talking, and he said, will you wait till I go get someone? I want them to hear. And I started telling him about my ex-husband and the drug cartel, let him feel that in the back of my head. And what God had brought me through. And he's like, God's got a purpose for you, or you wouldn't be here. And I told him, I said different things. And he spoke very highly of me to my face. And I told him, I said, God is not in your hair, your long skirts, the way you dress, or in a building where you pray. But God is in your heart and in your soul. And it comes through. Or something like that. And he said it is. I said, these idiots were coming in a place I was working. They were saying inappropriate stuff and off the wall stuff. And there was an officer in there. And he looked at one of those idiots and said, if you don't stop saying stuff like that, I'm going to get my tambourine out, start praising Jesus until those demons leave you. I started laughing, busted out, couldn't quit laughing. When you start realizing they're acting like Jim Jones would call David Koresh, that they could harm and kill somebody. And that agent acted like he was okay with them killing me because some idiot made a moronic baby lie up on me. He better been telling everybody he was scary and telling our victims calling for help and then open it with money immunity and then stealing the money. Even that was a scam. I like my money agent job. I want to help my family. And someone's paying for Dave to fly between Philippines and Japan several times a year, big trips. He only has Social Security. He can't afford stuff like that. He's probably doing something shitty for the cartel. Might want to tip him off. He should spend the rest of his life in a foreign jail where they don't speak English. Scared for his life the rest of his life. Justice. You know, I've looked at this and it's like, where is justice? Where is it? My pastor preached years ago, let justice come down like water, and righteousness like a mighty stream. Amos 5:24. My money agent job. You don't want to look like you are interfering and obstructing justice in a major FBI case. That we were a small chunk of it here in Ohio. And you need to get the sheriffs and marshals up there to Fairlawn area. Get the Kingsman and Michelle's group. You want another drug cartel leader? Her group has bragged she's took over the Florida drug cartel. She is now the leader. My money, please. New name, new social. Car found not bugged by occults, cartels. Life of peace. You know what peace is? It's freedom. Freedom is living your life without fear. You don't know what it's like till it's gone. When it's stolen from you, and when you feel it for a moment, it rushes back until it's stolen again. It's living your life without fear. You do realize they threatened to come back and to kill me, right? I really don't want to die in a field south of Ravenna with my face cut up, raped and stabbed to death. It sounds painful. They told it in like January 19th. They have it planned out. For when they find you alone, they'll take care of you. And then later on, the threat, how I'll die. And those men admitted they were in it with Dave. Been talking. Dave will be caught with the Kingsman from Texas and the Florida group, and possibly a part of at least 2 murders. And I hate when people say, oh, they were just supposed to be running around making fun of her. You knew they were raping and torturing me. 5-year-olds. Sick they raped her. So were you saying, huh? You thought they were making fun of me. Don't act like a fucking moron. Even that agent told Apostolic Church of Barberton he knew they were drug beating, raping me. So don't act like they were only making fun of me. I have a dent in the skull. Don't you even demean what I lived through. Keep your mouth fucking shut. Get your facts straight. I almost died. That's where the cops are like, she's amazing. She has no training and she lived through all this. Got us all that information on those people. She helped save a lot of lives. I like my money. A letter, thank you, signed. New name, social, car, phone. New apartment that's not bugged by psychos. Peace, John. Okay. I'm gonna upload this.